Happy Sunday. I know it's been a while. Happy New Year. Many blessings to each and every one of you. So today I'm going to be going over something that has been crowding a lot of hospitals. Some of you, your children may have been having it, or you yourself may have been experiencing it. And I'm going to try something a little different today. I'm not going to share my screen because I want you to listen to me carefully, what I'm talking about, and see if this works a little better for some of you. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking on the norovirus. Okay. So it has been a rough winter for many, with an uptick not only of respiratory infections, but other infections. In addition, the respiratory infection, like people are getting the flu, people are getting COVID, believe it or not, pneumonia. But one thing that I've ticked up a lot, and you're seeing it, is the norovirus. So what is the norovirus, and how do you get norovirus? So norovirus is a highly contagious stomach bug that causes vomiting, nausea, and diarrhea. Norovirus outbreaks usually happen seasonally in colder months. The infection is the number one cause of foodborne illnesses, especially here in the United States. So how do you get it? You can get norovirus infection in many ways, including through close contact with someone who has the virus. And that we know that with a lot of illnesses. If they have the flu, you're in close contact with them, you're at risk. You're touching contaminated surfaces and then touching your mouth or your nose. Now, as little kids, we're always taught when you touch things, you don't put your hands to your mouth. And so as adults, it's important that we're also practicing that. And there's a lot of children that still continue to do that. They're touching surfaces, touching their mouth or their nose, and their kids. So we have to teach them the importance of washing their hands before touching their mouth, okay? Eating or drinking contaminated foods or beverages. Norovirus has become the biggest cause of illnesses in contaminated food here. The virus typically spreads when someone who has the virus, again, touches your food or touches something that they're preparing and you yourself touch it, or you end up eating it from that person, okay? Sometimes certain foods, including like oyster and other seafood, are naturally contaminated with the norovirus, if you didn't know that. So let's talk about the difference. Some people are saying, well, I think it's just the flu. And it's really the norovirus. So norovirus, again, causes gastroenteritis, which some people may call it stomach flu. Influenza, the flu viruses, causes respiratory symptoms. So if it's not respiratory symptoms that you're having, and you're having the symptoms that I'm going to end up going through, know that it's possible that you have the norovirus, but please don't diagnose yourself. Please get yourself checked. And that's with any illnesses. So what are the symptoms of the norovirus? So symptoms usually, first of all, appear 12 to 48 hours after exposure to the virus. And it can last 1 to 3 days. And those symptoms include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain. You may have a headache, a low-grade fever, body aches, chills. Symptoms of norovirus are usually the same in both adults and children. Adults may experience more diarrhea than children, and children may vomit more than the adults. Again, as I stated, it is highly contagious, which means it spreads easily. So if you have the virus, your body sheds or releases billions of tiny virus particles that can make others ill. It only takes a few particles to make someone else sick. So I implore you, and I know that, sometimes we want to go to church, we want to go to work, we have to make money, we want to do a lot of things, we want to socialize. But if you see that you have these symptoms, it's important that you're mindful that the person around you may not have the immune system that can handle that. And so it's important that you protect not only others, your loved ones, but also yourself, okay? So after you come into contact with the norovirus, it can take, again, like I said, 12 to 48 hours before you show any symptoms. The amount of time before you get sick is called an incubation period. After your symptoms stop, you'll still be contagious for up to 48 hours. Norovirus can live on bedding for up to 2 weeks, and it can also survive on other heart surfaces and is still in water for months to years. So do you have complications from norovirus? You absolutely can. And based on the symptoms that I've discussed, I'm sure many of you already can figure out some of those. If you have the norovirus and you feel very sick, this can cause you to throw up and have diarrhea. When you're unable to keep nutrients in your body, you're at risk for what's called dehydration. And some of those symptoms, you may be peeing less often or having dark colored pee, having dry mouth, feeling weak or dizzy, a headache, chills that is uncontrollable, and muscle aches that can be unbearable. Children may have the above symptoms also, but some of them may be crying without tears. They become very fussy, sleeplessness throughout the whole day. Okay, I'm sorry, sleepiness throughout the whole day. Okay, norovirus can make it difficult for you to eat or drink because the inflammation in your intestines and stomach causes you to vomit or have the diarrhea. You still need to make an effort to eat and drink. You can do this by eating or drinking more often throughout the day. So instead of having like 3 big meals, you may want to split up and having 6 small meals. Okay? Eating slowly, taking small bites, and taking little sips of fluid. Whatever the fluid is, besides alcohol, take it throughout the whole day to keep yourself hydrated, okay? If you eat too quickly or too much, then your body may reject the food that you're taking, and then you may start to vomit more. So you want to be mindful of that, okay? So how is it diagnosed? Your healthcare provider will diagnose norovirus after learning about your symptoms. Testing usually isn't necessary, but a provider may test a stool sample to confirm the diagnosis. Tests are usually necessary if you have an underlying medical condition that affects the performance of your immune system and your ability to fight infections. So how is it treated? There's no cure for norovirus. Treatment for the infection focuses on relieving whatever symptoms you have. We should go away or subside maybe 1 or 2, 3 days. Some people say it's taking longer for them, especially if they have underlying things. But you can manage your symptoms by drinking, again, plenty of fluids, especially liquids that contain electrolytes, as dehydration is a very big concern. Getting a lot of rest, eating soft, bland foods. Some may find it beneficial to take Pepto-Bismol or Imodium if they're having diarrhea. So your home has become contaminated, your classrooms, wherever. If it's in the public system, make sure that your boss is aware how you're going to clean up your own classrooms, okay? So you might want to disinfect your rooms or your home by using a chlorine bleach solution or an EPA-registered disinfectant, because it's important that you kill the virus. And when you're cleaning, you want to make sure that your children are not around to touch what you're cleaning with and then they're putting it in their mouth, or you yourself don't forget and put your hands back in your mouth. So you want to wear gloves, okay? Be careful of things splashing in your face. Just mix the chlorine, like dilute it out a little bit and clean the entire surfaces down. And let it sit before you start packing things back into that area. You want to make sure that you're cleaning your linen, getting them washed clean properly in hot or warm water to try to kill the bacteria. So in summary, some precautions you can take to reduce your risk of getting the norovirus includes washing your hands often with soap and water. Now that Purell that many of us like to use at times doesn't really work for this. You have to use soap and water to get rid of it. If you don't have a choice, you use the Purell, but as soon as you can, get yourself to some soap and water to wash your hands properly. Washing your food before eating it, your fruits and your vegetables. Cooking your food thoroughly, especially seafood or shellfish, to an appropriate temperature. Avoiding contact with people who have the norovirus infection. Cleaning and sanitizing frequently touched surfaces and objects. Washing your clothes thoroughly, especially if they are soiled. If you cannot get the soiling out, you may want to get rid of that. You want to wear disposable gloves to handle soiled bedding and clothing. Using hand sanitizer, as I just stated, doesn't kill the norovirus particles as effectively as washing your hands with soap and warm water. If you have the norovirus infection, you shouldn't prepare food or take care of others, as you're at risk for spreading the infection. Norovirus symptoms are usually sudden and they're harsh. You'll likely be throwing up or having diarrhea for a few days until the infection runs its course. The thought of eating or drinking can be nauseating, but you'll put yourself at risk for dehydration if you don't eat or drink. If you're unable to eat or drink, contact your healthcare provider, because they may need to hospitalize you and hydrate you through IV therapy. There are several strains of norovirus, so if you get sick once, it's likely you can get sick again, as your body hasn't built an immunity to every type of norovirus. This illness is temporary and doesn't usually cause any long-term effect. I want to give special acknowledgement to the CDC that I got this information from, Yale Medicine, the Cleveland Clinic, and the Mayo Clinic for the information that I provided you today. I hope this was helpful. Please make sure that you're taking care of yourselves and those that are around you. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the service. And should you have any questions for me, please feel free to join me in the Zoom room immediately after service, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Thank you again, and God bless. Back over to the moderators.